Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Lydia, and today I wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. Now, I'm not going to go into specifics. I'm not an expert on this topic. I think you should do your own research. I'm actually going to be talking about hygiene, most specifically food hygiene, and how to kind of prevent the virus from spreading, how you can protect yourself. And lastly, I want to get into a recipe to boost up your immune system. This recipe is really good if you have a cold, if you have a flu. It is flu season. I want you to keep that in mind. I'm actually known around my family and my really close people to be a germaphobe. If you didn't know that, that is me. I am your typical germaphobe, and I know I'm not the only one. Actually, my sister used to make fun of me. Then she got married, and her husband's a germaphobe, which is awesome. So I know I'm not alone in this topic. These are actually habits that I've implemented for years in my family, and I kind of try to tell people about them. They think I'm a little bit extreme, but I thought this was the perfect occasion to tell you guys about them. So I hope you guys are ready. To start off, we are going to talk about food produce and hygiene. First thing you want to do is make sure you always wash your hands when you are handling produce, whether it's meat, watermelon, vegetables, fruits. Wash your hands all times. Wash your hands. Next, make sure you are washing all of your produce. Make sure you wash your fruits, your vegetables, your mushrooms, even though they tell you not to, your watermelons, even though they're obnoxiously large. There's dirt on those. You don't know where they've been, and a lot of people touch them. So make sure you're washing all of your fruits, your vegetables. Wash your meats. Also, I know there's like things going around telling you not to wash your meats. I always wash my meats. I don't know who touched them. I've heard horror stories about people dropping meats on floors and then picking it right up and selling it to you. So make sure you are washing your meat. Wash everything that you buy. Everything that goes into your mouth needs to be washed. I know a lot of people don't do it. They say it tastes better. I don't know about that. I've always washed my fruits, my vegetables, my meats. I don't mess around when it comes to washing my produce. Anything that goes into my mouth must be washed. I get it. It gets cooked. I just have peace of mind once I know it's nicely washed and cleaned. Another quick tip for you guys is to also boost up your immunity. It is flu season. Make sure you check out fermented foods. There's water kefir, there is probiotics, there is sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is extremely easy to make. It's pretty cheap. There's also kombucha, and there's just a bunch of fermented stuff that you can make at home. It is so good. You don't have to go to the store and just run and pick it up. You can make it yourself. It might take a while, so keep that in mind, but boost up your immune system by getting fermented foods into your diet. Fermented foods are really going to help you have that healthy bacteria in your gut that is much needed, especially during this time of the year, and it will help you stay healthy, and it'll just keep you happy, and it'll keep the bad bacteria from multiplying in your gut, because that is super crucial. And it will keep cleansing you, which is always a bonus. Another tip I have for you guys is avoid restaurants, especially during this time. Not necessarily because, going to restaurants might be a bad thing, but because if there is like a crowd of people and someone in the crowd has, the virus, a flu, anything like that, you might catch it, or you don't know, but the people that make your food might be sick. So just good practice is try to stay away from restaurants. You don't want to get sick. You don't want those people touching your food and making your food. So just try to stay away from crowds. I know that we are told right now, I believe worldwide, to stay away from crowded places. So just keep that in mind when you're going out to eat. Just avoid large crowds in general. I know a lot of states in America are really cracking down on this. I know in Italy they've cracked down on this. I know in other countries that they have been cracking down on this. Just keep this in mind. It's just for your own health benefits that you're not in a large crowded space. You're getting proper air ventilation and you're not touching people that could potentially be sick and getting you sick. You don't want that. You want to be extra careful. So just keep this in mind. Try to stay away from large crowds of people until authorities tell you otherwise. All right, now I want to go into personal things that I like to do for myself. I've been doing these for years. It's not something new that I just started doing this last week. These are things that I've been practicing years and years and years, to where even my family were like, what the heck is wrong with you? And I'm not kidding. I always have hand sanitizer on me. I always have hand wipes with me in my purse or in my car. Ever since I've had a cell phone, so ever since I was 16, that was a very long time ago, I always wiped my phone. So now you gotta think about it. This phone that you hold, it gets really nasty. So once you go to the store, you touch doors, you touch XYZ, and then you touch your phone. Then you put it on your face, and then you go to sleep, and then you touch it again. You sit on the toilet and you're playing with it. Okay, listen, we're all guilty of it. It sounds disgusting, but listen, we all do it. Make sure that you sanitize your phone. I do this every night. Ever since I had a cell phone, ever since I was 16 years old, I have been sanitizing my phone. Thank God. Now they are like waterproof, so I don't have to worry about, getting water and messing up my phone. But I have been doing this for a very long time. I think it's extremely important. I avoid getting sick. I avoid it like a plague. Listen, guys, I don't mess around. I'm gonna go on a tangent real fast. Back in the days when I used to go to college, a long time ago, I actually had a class to where this kid sat behind me and he was extremely sick one time, and he came into class and he was coughing, sneezing all over me. He was probably like not even 2 feet away from me. And I kid you not, I got sick with the flu right after that. And it was the worst flu of my life. Like I had migraines, I had like everything that could possibly go wrong, and I couldn't kick it. I was sick for like a month. After that, I was like, heck no, I am not getting sick like that again. So I avoid those kind of situations. If I go somewhere and I notice someone's sick, I will avoid them. Like I will go away from them. Like if I go to church and someone's coughing next to me, listen, I get up and I move. I don't care if I look weird. I don't want to get sick. That's my little tangent. Another thing that I like to do is as soon as I get home, I know this is not a common practice in America because Americans, I just don't know why they don't do this, but we take our shoes off as soon as we enter our house. There is no shoes in my house. Like I'm strict about that. Shoes harbor a lot of bacteria, a lot of viruses, a lot of dirty things. You gotta think of all the dirty places that you go to with your shoes on. You go to public bathrooms, which are extremely dirty. Just use your imagination with me on this one. They're extremely dirty. And then you walk into your house and you might have a newborn that is crawling on the floor. That is nasty to me. I don't play that game. Shoes do not belong inside. They belong outside. Your home, like I said, is your safe spot. Remove shoes from being inside. I know in Europe this practice is, very common to take your shoes off. I've got this from my parents, and I don't do shoes inside. It's a no shoe home, whatever you want to call it. That's what I do. I don't play around with that. Make sure you are also washing your hands as soon as you come into your house. So as soon as we get home from being out and about, first thing we do is wash our hands. You don't know what you touched and you don't want to bring those germs into your house. That's nasty. So we wash our hands. It makes you feel better. It gives you peace of mind. Make sure you are disinfecting your TV remotes. Make sure you're disinfecting things that you touch, doorknobs, light switches, anything that kids can touch, also disinfect. If you have like stair rails, whatever, make sure you're disinfecting everything. Do not let bacteria harbor on those surfaces because you don't want to be getting sick all the time. Also, if you are sick or you are feeling sick, do everyone a favor and yourself included, but just stay away from going out. If you're sick, stay home. Make sure most of your family is staying away from you. You don't want to get your loved ones sick. You don't want to get little kids sick, the elderly sick. What gets on my nerves is when people are extremely sick and they go places, public places. I've been to church, I've been to school where people were extremely sick and they go to these, public places, and I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it. Just stay home if you're sick. You're just going to make yourself miserable and everyone else around you, and it's just not good. So stay home if you're sick. Make sure you do that. Common courtesy, please stay home. So another problem is sanitizer and hand wipes are kind of out of stock in the stores. So I get it if you can't be sanitizing your hands constantly or wiping them with some hand wipes. Make sure you're using water. But if you can't be, doing this and you have to go to like public places to use, the bathrooms or the carts or whatever, make sure you're wearing gloves or use, like your elbows to open doors. Just try to avoid having your hands touching everything and then you touching your face, your phone, and other stuff. Make sure you just kind of avoid doing this. Also, if you do go to a store and they have those hand sanitizer wipes, make sure you use them to your advantage. Most stores have them nowadays. I don't know about now just because everything is like super crazy, but use those to your advantage. Don't be touching carts. If they have wipes there, use them. Costco usually has them. I love to go to Sprouts. They usually have them. Kroger usually has them. So use those to your advantage. They're there for you guys. So use those to disinfect everything. And again, don't be touching your face. I know it's super hard to like keep your hands off your face. I have this issue. I like to touch my face. I'm like really antsy all the time. Just try to keep your hands away from your face. That's just like a no-go. So just keep that like a no-go zone. One of the dirtiest places in a shopping cart or a buggy, as they call it out in the South, is kind of where the baby sits. That is one of the dirtiest spots that you can place your produce, your purse, whatever. So I do not put anything where the baby sits. That is like a no-go for me. I don't put my purse there. I tell people at Costco, don't even add anything there. Like keep that closed, tie it up, zip tie it, whatever. Just don't put anything there because it's like one of the dirtiest places, because you got to think. Baby booty sits there, babies do their business, things tend to leak. Keep that in mind. Sorry for the description. If you're going out in the public, you might be using public bathrooms. If you're using public bathrooms, make sure you wash your hands. Oh my goodness, I've seen so many women go to the bathroom and not wash their hands. That is so disgusting. Make sure you are washing your hands. You touch those doors, they are full of germs, bacteria. You don't know who else has touched them, who else has not washed their hands after they've touched them. Listen, it is disgusting. Make sure you're washing your hands if you can, which I think every public bathroom should have paper towels. Make sure you wash your hands before you use the public bathroom. So I grab the paper towels. This is like a little too much information, but I grab those paper towels. I don't touch the doors with my bare hands. That is like nasty. I use the paper towels to open the door, and then I use paper towels to, close it and open it again. Listen, I don't play that game. It is just so disgusting when I think about all the people that have touched those doors. Those doors do not get wiped down. They do not get ever sanitized. I don't think any public place has ever sanitized those doors. So a lot of hands have touched them. There's a lot of germs on them. Make sure you're sanitizing everything. Make sure you're using paper towels whenever you can, especially if they're in the bathroom. Use them to your advantage. When I get out of the bathroom, after I wash my hands with soap, make sure you're doing this. It is super important. Like, it gets on my nerves when people go to the bathroom and don't wash their hands. It's just annoying and it's disgusting. Use paper towels to open the door. Use your feet to hold open the door. Just do not be opening that dirty door with your clean hands. That is like so not okay. I know a lot of us are guilty of it. Just telling you, it's full of germs. It's full of bacteria. If you're trying to stay healthy, try to use paper towels, especially if they're there. It just gets on my nerves when you go to a public bathroom and they don't have paper towels. Get with the program. Order paper towels. People are not trying to get sick here. You know what I'm saying? Another place that you should be watching for hygiene or wiping your hands or germs or whatever is when you go to pump gas. Now, I know not a lot of you think about this. My brother-in-law is actually really smart, and I'm not quite there yet, but I should. When he pumps gas, he actually uses rubber gloves, so he doesn't touch the gas pump, which is extremely dirty. It's extremely full of bacteria and germs. So what I do, since I don't do the glove thing, which I should, because it's super smart, I actually, whenever I pump gas, I actually use hand wipes. I'm not kidding when I say I have hand wipes in my car. It's just good practice. So once I am done pumping the gas, I wipe my hands, I get all those germs off of me, and then when I go home, I wash my hands. So keep that in mind when you do pump gas. Those gas pumps are full of germs and bacteria. You don't know who has been touching them. They feel nasty. They look nasty. They look dirty. You look around them, they're all black from dirtiness and gas and whatnot. Make sure you're sanitizing your hands if you can. Wear gloves when possible. I think that is just extremely good, healthy hygiene practice. Now, I know that I've given you guys a lot of tips, a lot of hygiene practices that I like to practice. And like I said, it is in my everyday life. I'm not just doing this right now. I want to encourage you guys to do the same in your everyday life, even when this is going to be over, because it will blow over. I'm hoping really, really soon, because this is just ridiculous. There's a lot of people panicking. There's a lot of people scared, worried. People are getting laid off or whatever the case is. So I hope that it blows over soon. But until then, make sure you guys are practicing these healthy habits. Implement them in your everyday life. I don't think you'll regret them. I stay away from people, especially flu season. I tend to not get sick quickly, especially when I avoid all people. I do eat a lot of fermented foods. I'm going to be showing you my immune booster in just like a few seconds. Make sure you're implementing these things. Take care of your body, take care of your gut, take care of those around you. My heart goes out to everyone that has been affected by this virus. It's just an extremely bad situation, and my heart goes out to all of you guys. I am praying for you guys, and I'm just praying it just blows over before we know it, and we finally get our freedom back, because I feel like this is just extremely stressful on all of us. I hope you guys are staying healthy, stay strong, be positive. I'm going to be showing you my recipe to boost up your immune system in just a minute, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So my immune booster shot will include lemons, apples, ginger, and beets. I really want you to make this recipe your own, just because you can really adjust it. So if you don't like it as strong, you can definitely make it less potent. And then if you do want more ginger or more beets, You can add more or less of whatever ingredients. I'm just going to be giving you guys a rough idea of what I do so you guys can make it yourselves, make it as strong or as sweet as you like. When making my immune booster shots, I like to roll out my lemons, slice them in half, and then juice them using a fork to squeeze out all of the juices. I have a sieve to catch all of the pits, and that sieve is over a measuring cup that has a spout just so it's easy to pour. Lemons are high in vitamin C. They're a primary antioxidant. They can also relieve respiratory tract infections and other illnesses. They also aid in digestion, which is super important. I'm using 6 lemons in this recipe, but you can add more or less. It is entirely up to you. Make sure you also wash your produce, like I mentioned in my video before. So I'm just going to squeeze everything. Once I'm done squeezing this, I want to show you what a ginger root looks like. I'm not going to cleanse my ginger root of the skin. I did wash it, but I'm not going to peel the skin just because my juicer does it all. And then these are what beets look like. I just cut the tops and the bottoms of them. Again, I'm not peeling the skin. I'm just going to cut them in half and just let my juicer do the rest. I also should mention that you will be needing a juicer for this recipe. Next, my apples. I'm using 4 Honeycrisp apples and 4 Granny Smith apples. I did not peel them or remove the cores. I just cut them big enough so they can fit into my juicer. If you feel like this is too many apples, you can definitely cut down the apples. I'm just adding this many apples for the sweetness. There's a saying that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Apples have antioxidants which help boost your immunity and reduce the risk of chronic illnesses. It can reduce cancers. So that's basically why I'm using apples. Also, I start out by juicing my apples first just because they tend to get mushy. So go ahead and juice your apples. Once you're done juicing your apples, you could add your apple juice to your lemon juice. I'm using a sieve to catch any of the apple pulp, and I'm just adding it right away to my lemon juice. Then I went ahead and broke my ginger into manageable pieces just so it can fit into the juicer. I went ahead and sliced my beets in half. As you can see, they have a really pretty red purple color, so be careful with them just because they can stain things around your kitchen. Then I went ahead and juiced my ginger. Ginger is actually considered a superfood. It's anti-inflammatory. It can help with blood circulation. It boosts your immune system. It's been used in Asia for thousands of years as a natural treatment against cold and flus. It actually straightens the immune system and decreases bacterial infections in your stomach and battles coughs and throat irritations. Next, I'm going to go ahead and juice my beets. Beets are actually a natural cleanser for the body. They're also known to eliminate toxins and purify your liver and your bloodstream, which helps you recover from colds and flus a lot quicker, which is always a good thing. Beets also help fight inflammation in your kidneys, and they help in digestion and regulating your blood pressure. Also, beets don't taste exactly delicious, so the apples really help mask that dirt taste. So this is the powerhouse of ginger and beets that I have. I'm going to run it through the sieve to catch any extra pulp, if you will. And as you can see, the juice kind of turns red and it's really pretty. If you ran your juice through a sieve, you can discard the pulp. I'm actually going to add my pulp straight away into my juice just because I want the extra vitamins from the ginger and the beets, but you can definitely discard it. I'm going to add it. Make sure you're careful just because the beet juice kind of gets everywhere and it could get onto your countertop like it did here. Give this a quick stir. Now, since I added my pulp, my juice isn't going to be super smooth, so keep that in mind. After you give your juice a good stir, go ahead and pour this into a container of some sort. I'm just using a glass mason jar with a plastic top that I picked up from Walmart years ago. And you could probably store this in your refrigerator for up to 7 days. I wouldn't know just because every time I make this, it goes by really fast in my house. I hope you guys give this a try. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys are staying well and healthy. Try not to panic too much or have too much fear. I know that everyone has a different opinion on this topic, but just stay healthy, stay well. And if you do make this juice, be extremely careful just because the beets tend to get everywhere and make a mess. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching and taking your time to watch all of my tips. Hopefully you guys implement some of these healthy hygiene habits into your daily lives every day, not just right now. Hope you guys enjoyed my recipe to boost up your immune system, not just this year, but every year when it's flu time and people are getting sick around you or you're just kind of feeling sluggish. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay happy, stay positive, and just remember that this will come to an end. It is not the end of the world, hopefully, and we will go back to regular life and live our regular lives once again. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.